Me again. I'm definitely going to keep this one short. So, I had group therapy today. We're focusing on DBT, to change the cognitive portions of our mind so that I feel like this is moving so much. So that if and when I have surgery, I don't totally sabotage it with my binge eating or my emotional eating. So, I had been doing pretty good about not binging. I even wanted to, over the long holiday weekend, I was in New York with my family from Tuesday or Wednesday? Wednesday to Saturday evening. And there was several times I just wanted to eat all the things. But I tried to pace myself. It's not that I tried, I did. When I felt that way, I told myself to eat what I had, and if I still felt hungry, I would get more, but I was always content. So I was able to micro control it. I get home, we have my stepdad's birthday family get together on Sunday, which was yesterday. And we're talking about fixing my side view mirror. And for some reason, the conversation completely aggravated me. I was just so pissed. And it wasn't just the conversation, I don't think. I think it was the fact that I was just over peopled. I'm an introvert. I like being alone. I like being in the comfort of my home. So being around as many people as I was for 4 days straight, and then technically 5 when we, were at my parents' house for a couple hours, I was burnt out. I couldn't do it. I needed to be at home. So here's what pisses me the F off. I was so irritated and mad. I was like, whatever, I want a piece of cake. So we had KFC. I cut half of a Cinnabon biscuit because I wanted to try it. But like I said, I was pissed and thoroughly aggravated. So I cut half a biscuit. We sang happy birthday, and I got a piece of cake. Small piece, but piece of cake nonetheless, right? I'm like, okay, I'm going home. I need to woo-saw. So then I have group therapy today, and we're talking about crisis and how to deal with crisis situations and some options. And she's actually also my one-on-one therapist, but she also runs the group. My therapist says something to the effect of your skill sets are working because you can ride the wave. So instead of your wave being at a 10, it might be at the 9. You might bring it down to the 6. It might be the 4 or 2. And I'm like, oh, I kind of feel like that's what I did yesterday. I was pissed. I was at the 10. I thought about it because I really tried very hard to control my exterior, and so that nobody would know that I was thoroughly upset. And I ate less than I wanted to. My urge would have been ah. But I didn't do it. So I raised my hand and I asked, but I use alcohol instead of the food as an example. And I asked, let's say somebody's negative or divisive behavior is drinking wine. They have a crisis. They drink a bottle of wine. They learn this skill set, and then they drink half a bottle or half a glass. And she kind of was at first, and then she finally was just really, the objective is 0. And it makes sense to me because some addictions you can't just have a little bit and be okay. So just even playing field, get to 0. So she knows that I'm doing this and the food, binging and emotional eating and stuff. So she knew what I was asking. So I'm like, okay. And she smiles at me, and I was like, okay, so goal is 0 or it doesn't count. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, fuck. That's what I just did yesterday. Oh! I had 58 days, you guys. 58 days. And it just... That was a sucker punch. It was a kick to my gut. I was okay there, but I called my mom when I got to the car to tell her about an appointment I had earlier. But I also told her about that first because it had just happened and I was devastated. And Mom, she's just like, well, like you said, now you know, and you've got the skills and you know what to do instead, whatever. She's like, but if that's all it took. And I was like, no. You don't get to shrink my experience. That was more than just that one conversation. That was everything in those 60 days, almost 60 days. And then a very highly emotional, like mental psyche emotional week for me, because being around that many people that long just totally zaps me. I just was done and I freaking lost it. And I was so upset with myself by the time I got home. I sat here and cried for a little while. I am so disappointed. I know this is just part of the process. This is a lesson. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm not happy. I know I'm not guaranteed happiness or anything of that. I'm just venting. I know I'll look back on this eventually and be okay, but for right now, I am pissed. And you know what, though? I'm not even pissed to want to eat. So I guess it is working, but God damn it. I was really hoping I could do it, but how else are you going to learn, right? You make mistakes. And then sprinkles on top while I'm sitting here crying. I freaking bust my dress strap. I hate today. I really do. All right, guys. What lessons have you learned lately? Or what would you share to a newcomer? Thanks for watching. Comment below. Bye-bye.